up, Play Boys? It's your boy Ryan Nixon, along with
Savannah
and
Atwood.
It's the three amigos getting rid of the fake boys, the extra baggage, and I think we're just gonna get straight down to the picks. Probably gonna be a quicker pod than normal, even though I think every time we say that it ends up being a little bit longer than expected. That's what she said. So, Savannah, what's the first game of the week? Is it the It Just Means More segment?
Yeah, there's only two games that we're going to talk about in the It Just Means More segment, and they're both low-key, low-quality games.
So maybe it just means less this week.
Up first, we have the stars of the game. MTSU is playing at number 17, Kentucky.
The game we was going to go to?
Yeah, we were planning to go to it. So, Kentucky is a 16-point favorite over MTSU. Obviously, that's wrong. So, anyways, Ryan, what's your pick?
Well, if your favorite color is blue, you're obviously in for a treat this game. And I know one thing. One of these teams has a good quarterback, and one of these teams has a running back that gets suspended. So I'm going to take MTSU, the True Blue, to win this game.
What?
I mean, did you see how Kentucky was trash against Duke in basketball? All right,
Basketball? What?
that trash momentum is going to carry over. I mean, what have they lost? 3 of their last 4 games?
To do with the football team.
What have y'all lost 3 of your last 4 games, Atwood, in football?
Huh?
Lost 3 of the 4 games? Of the last 4 games?
4, yeah.
Yeah, that's how trash they are. Make it 4 of the last 5.
I'm also going to pick MTSU very narrowly because Brent Stockstill is low-key garbage, and our wide receivers don't know how to catch a down ball ever, so our passing game is super weak.
What are you talking about? He's on 21 touchdowns, only 5 picks.
Brent Stockstill.
Yeah.
That's his stats. Are you freaking kidding me? Okay, well then I guess he's thrown all 5 of those when I've been there watching, so. Because I went to the Vanderbilt game and it was horrendous. But I still am going to pick MTSU because I'm True Blue, baby.
And let's hear the wrong prediction for this game. Atwood, who you got?
Oh, is that right?
Oh, yeah.
Well, I'm going to have to go with the senior night boys, the Kentucky Wildcats. You're going to go out there and embarrass whoever this MTSU team is on senior night, so.
Dude, I'm pretty sure TSU could beat y'all. Kentucky is just not that good.
I mean, it just means more where we're at. What's the Sun Belt motto?
First off, sir, it's the Conference USA.
CUSA.
Oh, my bad.
And second off, we're gonna beat y'all on the gridiron, just like a few years ago we beat y'all on the basketball court.
A few years. It's been more than a few.
MTSU is.
First off, y'all can't even beat Vanderbilt, so shut up.
All right, just Vanderbilt's a good opponent. Okay.
That was very early in the season. It was like week 1 or week 2 or something. It was early
I
on.
don't want to hear no excuses.
We're the top of our division in the Conference USA.
We whooped up on Florida Atlantic in a last-minute thriller, so we're good under pressure. Kinda.
What? Don't worry, there won't be any pressure. It won't be that close.
Oh, what's the next game before I kick Atwood's ass?
Up next we have Missouri, who is a 6-point favorite over Tennessee. This game will be played at Neyland Stadium.
Well, as Atwood knows, UT is finding their stride as of late.
I wouldn't say all that now.
I think Neyland's going to be rocking for the first time this season. Whenever they're come in expecting to win, I think they're going to get it. Tennessee over Missouri. What you got?
I'm also taking Tennessee over Missouri. I think they're going to keep that momentum. Tennessee fans are starting to get, a little bit out of their depression. So I think that'll have Neyland a little more lively. Also, Missouri sucks, so.
You say Tennessee's getting out of their depression?
Yeah, Tennessee fans
still
are.
5-5. They still suck.
They still beat 2 ranked teams this year. Okay, that's enough for Tennessee fans to pull out of their depressed state enough to be excited to go to a game.
So what you're saying is instead of cutting their wrists long ways, they're going back sideways.
Dang. That got dark. Okay, Atwood, who do you think's going to win this game?
I'm going to have to go with the high-powered offense of Mizzou. Because from what everybody's saying, Tennessee secondary is not that great. And Mizzou has one of the best passing offenses in the nation.
And I guess Derek Dooley might be pretty pissed still.
Oh, yeah, he's getting that revenge.
Yeah, he's on the revenge
he at
tour.
Missouri?
Yeah, he's the offensive coordinator at Missouri.
Yo, him. I'm sorry, but I don't like him.
Why not? Because he didn't get
Head
that dub at a trash school?
Head ass.
Because he wanted to go to a good school. That's why he's at Mizzou.
A good school.
Hey.
This
Tennessee's
dumbass
top
don't
five,
even know what he's talking about anymore. He thinks Kentucky's good. He thinks Missouri's good. That's like the lower class of the SEC.
That's why we're not last in the SEC like Tennessee. Ain't that right?
Actually, Tennessee ain't last.
Let me see.
Are they?
Let me check.
That's canceled. All right, while we check.
My bad.
Why do I need shipping?
Vanderbilt is last.
Why do I need
I mean,
shipping
Tennessee and
insurance?
Vanderbilt on the same pedestal.
While we check. Oh, yeah, Vanderbilt is below.
Has Tennessee played Vandy yet, though?
Nah, I think that's usually like the last weekend.
Jeez, and there's a chance right there that they could tie for the worst record in the SEC East.
And Vanderbilt almost upset the number 3 or 4 team in the country, Notre Dame. 3? The 3 team in the country, Notre Dame. And I don't know. That Notre Dame team's overrated, but Vanderbilt is not a bad team. Alright. Just means more is canceled.
My favorite section now. I can't say it. We have USC, who is a 3.5 point favorite, playing at UCLA. Classic matchup.
How far are these two away from each other?
Not that far.
Not very far.
Not. I gotta run out to the car real quick. I'll be right
Alright.
I didn't know if it was like right down the road or.
Hold on. I will Google it. As I look it up, let's just say that this podcast is brought to you by nothing. We're an independently ran podcast.
We get paid no money to bring you this.
Surprisingly, yeah, we did pay very little. Actually nothing. I'm still looking up.
If you want to pay us,
If you want to sponsor us, feel free.
got our hands open.
Yeah, Atwell wants a $300 jacket.
Yeah, so if all the listeners want to pitch in and give me my jacket, it'd be much appreciated.
It's a 3-in-1 jacket.
Thank you, no.
Okay, what it says it is 12 miles apart.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I know that UCLA is like, well, UCLA plays at the Rose Bowl, which isn't on their campus, but actually, hold on, I'm looking it up. I don't think it's on their campus.
What is that noise you doing?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't think it's on their campus. It's in a suburb outside of Los Angeles. But, yeah, 12 miles apart. Alright, and as Savannah's back, and I figured that out, here comes the fun. So, there's been a little bit of trouble brewing in Los Angeles with all the fires.
Oh, it's too soon.
Yeah, it's still happening, Ryan. You can't, literally tons of people are dying and losing their homes.
Look, I'm not cracking jokes about the fires, okay?
Okay.
Oh, you did, though. You did.
And I think that'll be the only thing hot about these two teams because both teams are not doing well this season. USC has choked all season, and I just don't. I feel like they're going to be let down again as UCLA destroys them. I can't even crack jokes. This is a trash game, trash season. UCLA wins the rivalry game and gets the victory bell.
Yeah, I'm gonna say, hold on. Atwood, you go while I think for a second.
I'm kind of with Ryan. This is such trash. I don't even know how big. Ryan, pick a number 1, 2, 3.
2.5.
Alright, pick number 1 or 2.
1.
Alright, UCLA's gonna win.
One thing to note about this game, I don't know if they're still going to do it, but I'm pretty sure they both wear, USC wears their red jerseys, and UCLA wears their light blue jerseys.
Matchup of colors. So USC's quarterback is slightly better than UCLA's, although both are kind of garbage. So I think that USC will penetrate UCLA's defense and come out slightly on top.
Unless it's like the rest of their season, then their defense is just going to beat a limp.
Okay. What's the next game?
This one's kind of garbage. But it's a close matchup. So we have number 22 Northwestern playing at Minnesota, who is a 2-point favorite.
Well, if you were excited about the USC UCLA game, you're probably the only one. It's kind of like if you look at the chances of the Big Ten championship game, and you're going to see that Northwestern is actually the most likely to be playing the Big Ten championship game against Michigan or Ohio State. I think that they continue their miraculous season, even though they did lose to Akron, and I'm pretty sure they lost to Duke.
I don't understand.
That's how trash they are, and they're still ranked number 22. I don't know if this is an upset, but I think PJ Fleck gets it done. Minnesota will beat Northwestern.
Okay.
I don't really have a reason, but I just don't think Northwestern is that good. I think they've played in a soft conference side.
Northwestern lost to Duke, Akron, Michigan, and Notre Dame. That's 4 L's this season. I can kind of understand the loss to Notre Dame, and I can kind of understand the loss to Michigan.
Yeah, when they lost to Duke, though, Duke was ranked.
It doesn't say that they were ranked on here.
That's probably just because they aren't now.
I thought that was the ranking when they played.
Oh yeah, because it's got Michigan as number 14.
Yeah, so they weren't ranked.
Oh, I guess they fell out the first week.
Yeah, but still, Akron. Come on, guys.
Hey, LeBron's from Akron, Ohio, so greatness just comes from the area.
Yeah, not the college though. I'm going Minnesota.
What about you, Atwood?
I'm picking this game solely off of one reason. I'm going with Northwestern just because the strength coach is a G. Any man who wears short sleeves in 20-degree weather
Oh, I saw that.
knows he's getting his people right.
He's out there. Hold on, seriously?
My dude
Yeah.
was literally so jacked that his arms couldn't. Like, I don't know that he could have just touched his thigh because his arms were really bulked out so much.
He's supposed to be in a large, but he is squeezing into a small.
Dang. Yeah, this dude's big.
So Northwestern just because of strength coach.
Why is he? Dude, he needs a bigger shirt.
Yeah, he's one of those. Y'all know who I'm talking about. I'm not gonna say his name on here. Our dude we went to high school with, who also wears shirts way too small.
Why is he wearing a polo that's got cut off sleeves?
He cut the sleeves off a polo. That's intense.
Okay, on to the next one.
This is gonna be a blowout. I honestly don't know why I put it on here. I'm just kidding. Number 10, Ohio State, a 14.5 point favorite, playing at Maryland.
Well, this is just a matchup of two teams that have probably have the most controversial seasons as far as coaching
Yep.
has went on. Let's see. Who am I going to pick? Yeah, I mean, I'm taking Ohio State.
That's the smart choice. Definitely.
Even though Dwayne Haskins is going back to his home state, Maryland. He's been trashed this season, but I think he's going to show out for the fam that's probably going to come out and see him. So, Maryland big. Ohio State big.
I was like, dang. Although I would love to see that red and white and black and gold flag flying,
Oh my
I'm
God.
gonna have to pick Ohio State. I just wanted to mention how weird Maryland's flag is. Also, Ohio State. But yeah, Ohio State's gonna win this pretty big.
Atwood?
I'm gonna have to agree just because I feel like Ohio State's gonna try their best to get into the playoffs, and
They gotta start
I
blowing
feel
teams out.
I feel like they're gonna somehow make it in. So they're gonna have to win out. So
Yeah, I'll be really mad if they make it in. But, I mean, I'm like you. It just seems like they always find a way. The committee, no matter what anyone says, the committee has a lot of bias towards the big name schools. And Ohio State and basically just the SEC logo in general gives the committee like, hey, we'll throw them in, that'll sell. So, like, I feel like Vanderbilt could play probably the worst SEC East competition and somehow find a way to, like, win a mediocre Alabama team, and they'd be like, yeah, you're in. But, okay, off my soapbox, I'm taking... Oh, no, we're on to the next game. Savannah, what's the next game?
Here's a real question. If Ohio State beats Michigan, do you put... And then, of course, Michigan then is going to drop out of the top four.
Yeah.
And then, of course, everybody assumes Georgia's going to lose to Alabama. So even if it is a close game, do you keep Georgia in there?
I don't know, just because I think if this West Virginia or Oklahoma team wins out, I feel like they deserve a shot over a 2-loss Georgia team who, not even joking, I feel like Georgia is kind of overrated this year. We've kind of seen that. I know they beat Kentucky by a little bit, but Kentucky's sort of fell off at this point. And like you said, Kentucky's quarterback just isn't really built to come back, and that also allowed Georgia to pull away a little bit more. But I just don't think Georgia's that good. I don't know that they can even keep it close with Alabama. Any changes?
Y'all ready for the next game?
Bring it.
We have number 9, West Virginia, a 4.5-point favorite, playing at Oklahoma State.
All right. This Oklahoma State team, I've watched them play this season. They lost to Baylor, and let's keep it real. TCU's going to lose to Baylor this week. That's not the point. But Oklahoma State, if they can't beat Baylor, there's no way they beat West Virginia, who's just got such a great passing attack. Will Grier has had a couple bad games this season, but I think Will Grier is a first-round draft pick in the NFL. So I'm taking West Virginia.
Ryan, I don't like you hating on Baylor. They know how to operate things down there. I mean, they know how to utilize someone Tennessee didn't know how to utilize.
Hey, Jalen Hurd, if fans listening, if y'all want to check the stats on him, he's going hard this year.
You still having against in a school who knows how to use somebody?
Didn't Baylor lose like 8 games a couple years ago?
Yeah, but they kind of got the death penalty. Like, they lost their coach, all the coordinators.
They didn't actually get the death penalty.
Basically did. Whenever you have a rape scandal come out as big as they did, you're going to lose all your recruits. They was in a bad situation, and honestly, they're trying to right the ship, and I think they're doing a pretty good job at it. I mean, their starting quarterback transferred. All right, on to the next one.
I already read it.
Oh, yeah.
You already picked it.
Who you got, son?
Just got one thing to say. I'm going West Virginia.
All right. Do not sue us, anybody.
Anyone associated with John Denver. I apologize.
Yeah, please don't sue us. We don't make any money off this, I swear. So you got anything else to add to it? Why you think you're going to win?
Because of that song. That's why. No. Like you said, Oklahoma State, garbage. I don't know why West Virginia is only a 4.5-point favorite. I guess because they're playing at Oklahoma State. But I think it'll be more than that.
Well, and their defense is kind of garbage.
Yeah.
Hey, Big 12 don't play defense.
They don't believe in defense there.
All right, what who you got?
I'm going to say West Virginia, but I'm not going to be surprised if Oklahoma State pulls out an upset. Because I think Oklahoma themselves is a better team than West Virginia, and they almost pulled out an upset against Oklahoma. At Oklahoma.
That's a good point. A couple things go different, such as the 2-point conversion, which let's just say I like the balls on Mike Gundy for that. It takes a lot of nerve to go for 2. But, alright. So you take West Virginia. That's a sweep on our part. That's the first.
Second.
And the second one that we've all picked.
On the first 4 games, Tyler picked a different game than we did. Or a different opponent than we did. He had to be different on all four.
Actually, I think me and Ryan both picked UCLA.
I picked I picked UCLA.
You did?
Yeah.
I could have swore you picked USC.
Yeah.
Yeah, I picked UCLA because I didn't like the...
Boy, y'all are going to feel real stupid when the Trojans penetrate. That's all I'm saying.
Alright, that's canceled.
Anyways, our one of our two big matchups of the week here, ranked team versus ranked team. We have number 24, Cincinnati, at number 11, UCF, who is a 7-point favorite. I cannot believe I just said those words. All of that sentence. Just, it's like the Twilight Zone.
Okay, well, that was weird.
Cincinnati.
I'm taking my national champions.
UCF.
Central Florida.
Big game.
Over Cincinnati. Cincinnati hasn't been good since Butch Jones left. I don't think. Anyone that actually knows, feel free to correct me. Shoot us a tweet correcting me at PodBois _podcast.
Roast him.
Roast me, yeah. But no, I think the Golden Knights stay golden and win their, what is it at this point? 20th.
They're going to be the champions of life again.
Oh yeah, they're always champions of life. They're my national champions. They're better than TCU at this point, and honestly, I think that they could beat. I think they could beat a couple of the teams ranked above them, such as Notre Dame. So I'm taking UCF. What about you, Savannah?
I'm also going to take the national champions. Cincinnati lost to Temple. Not that Temple is just a horrible team, and they lost in overtime. But, you know, UCF has that streak going for them, and that's a pretty heavy motivation to win, you know. Keep that streak alive, prove that you're a good team.
It's also good motivation for the other team to be the one to break your streak.
They all want to be the one to break the streak, so, you know, I guess it goes both ways. Every coin has two sides, you know.
Oh my God.
Unless it's a one-sided coin.
Bitch, where? Where can you get a one-sided coin?
It's there in your imagination.
Literally, I can't even make that in my mind. Anyways.
Maybe if you glued a coin to a table, it's only one-sided.
It still has the other side. It's just glued down.
Shh. I'll draw a one-sided coin.
Y'all trying to get philosophical?
No. Alright, so you picked UCF. What are you doing?
As much as I want to go with the old Bearcats because they produce my boy T. Kelsey. But,
is that where Travis Kelce went?
Yes, sir. Both the Kelsey brothers.
Hey, well, the actual brothers went to UCF. Shaquille and Shaquille.
See, but I'm going to go with the true coach at Tennessee would say, the 5-star hearts, champions of life, UCF Knights.
Oh my God.
It is. Alright, our actual, let me just move on quickly.
Hashtag bring Bush back.
Our biggest game of the week, our highest ranked matchup. We have number 12 Syracuse playing at number 3 Notre Dame, who is a 10.5-point favorite.
Oh, this is such an exciting matchup, Savannah. Oh my gosh.
I know. High quality.
That's the upset alert. Syracuse, orange.
What the hell?
Beating Notre Dame.
Don't ever do that.
Nope, canceled. 100% canceled.
That was like the least problematic thing I could do.
No, I'd rather go back to talking about Catholics raping children.
Nope. Syracuse.
Than to ever hear that again.
The Syracuse Orange are winning. It's not even an upset, honestly, because I think they're the better team, so they're lucky it's at Notre Dame or else the field would be getting stormed. Actually, Yeah, that's all I gotta say. Next.
So I know Notre Dame is undefeated, but the only loss that Syracuse have is to Clemson, which is obvious, and they only lost by, well, like 5 points? 4
They
points?
chose-
Syracuse lost to Pitt
And they also lost to Pitt. So,
in double OT.
So the top.
I mean, that's like a good game to go to double overtime.
It's the
That's
top
high
of
pressure.
both divisions.
Yeah, well, I don't know, that's just a hard game to win when you're going into overtimes.
But you do know Pitt is known for upset,
Yeah.
like last year.
But I think that Notre Dame is overrated, even though they have those 10 wins this season. I think this is what's going to break that little streak of this season, because I really do think they're overrated. Syracuse will win by a field goal.
Okay. Atwood.
I told y'all in week 6 of this, if Notre Dame beats Virginia Tech, they're winning out. So no doubt in my mind, the Catholic boy touchers are going to destroy. See, you don't make it perfect. What is Syracuse? The orange?
Yeah.
Shaped as balls.
Oh my god.
Notre Dame, Catholic boy touchers, boys got balls, they're gonna fondle them all game.
Oh, no.
That's done. That's canceled.
Listen, I'm just ready for Notre Dame to play USC next week.
Yeah, we're not picking that game.
We are, and it's going to get problematic, so be prepared. The Trojans and the Catholics.
Oh no.
We'll see how that one turns out.
Them Catholics ain't gonna use protection next week.
Yep.
Oh my god.
Y'all have any other games you wanted to talk about, discuss? Do you want to talk about the high school game you're going to this Friday night? State championship playoffs?
It's gonna be lit, and we're gonna see
Oakland Raiders?
the recruits. I'm not saying Oakland.
Oh, I thought y'all said you were going to see Oakland.
No, we're gonna see
No, we're gonna see CPA and some school from Memphis.
CPA and Lausanne or Lausanne.
Louisiana, I think.
Speaking of, we got one going to a ACC school in Clemson, linebacker from CPA, and the running back from school from Memphis is
Lausanne.
going to be coached by PodBoi.
Hard.
Speaking of hardball, I want us to all think for a second, because Atwell brought up the hypothetical earlier. If Alabama and Georgia ended up being a close game, I think if Michigan wins out, you're going to have the debate of, if Michigan and Notre Dame both went out, you're going to have the debate who deserves to be in the playoffs, because Notre Dame beat Michigan straight up in a 7-point game. If Georgia loses, I think that the Notre Dame and Michigan would both make it in. But if Georgia beat Alabama, you would have those three getting challenged as one-loss teams. Do you think the committee should overlook Michigan's loss to Notre Dame, since it was the first game?
I honestly think the committee would rather overlook, if that did happen, Alabama's loss to Georgia, because of so-called this is the best team of the last.
I'll say
But which of the teams do you think would get knocked out?
Every single reporter for ESPN would suck the dick of every player on Alabama's team.
That's disgusting.
That they would do it. They would run a train on them. A dick-sucking train.
I don't know about that now.
That's
They
nasty.
would. They're obsessed with Alabama. They always will be now.
But, alright. No matter the order, one loss Alabama, one loss no loss Notre Dame, and one loss Michigan. Who is out?
Wait, repeat that again?
Alright, so both Michigan and Alabama would have one loss, with Michigan's loss coming to Notre Dame by 7 points. And undefeated Notre Dame, but Michigan and Alabama would be 12-1, and Notre Dame would be 12-0 because they don't have a conference championship game. 2 of the 3 make it in. Who's out?
I would say in that case you go. That's tough. Of course, I would say that, if Michigan wins out?
Yeah, if Michigan wins out, their only loss will have been to Notre Dame.
Yeah, I would say they would stay in because, excuse me, as of right now, they're in now, so it wouldn't affect them.
But Notre Dame's in right now, aren't they?
Yeah, Notre Dame.
Yeah.
Oh, so you're saying Notre Dame would stay in?
Is 3.
Yeah. So if Alabama did lose, you'd really only have one team who would get in, and that would be between. Would you go with a 1-loss Georgia, 1-loss Alabama, or 1-loss Oklahoma?
See, that's the thing, because right now, you could argue Oklahoma deserves to get in more than what's it called? Notre Dame or Michigan. But they're sitting a little bit farther back because the Big 12 has seen a lot of teams beat each other. But I just don't think the Big 10's that good. It's going to be an interesting ride to see who makes it in the playoffs, honestly. Because I think if Alabama beats Georgia, I think Georgia's out.
But, yeah, because I don't think a 2-win team should surpass. See, I think if Georgia and Michigan both lose, hands down, you got to go with Oklahoma. But if Alabama somehow gets upset, then would you put Georgia, who just upset the most dominant team in this decade, or go with Oklahoma? Who would they end up playing in the Big 12 championship? Would it be Texas?
Honestly, there's a 4-way race for the Big 12 championship game because it's the top 2 teams. Iowa State and Texas play this week, and the winner of that basically lives on. And then, like, if Iowa State wins, Iowa State beat West Virginia, so they would have tiebreaker if Oklahoma beat West Virginia, if that makes sense. And Texas beat Oklahoma, so if West Virginia beats Oklahoma, Texas could make it in if Texas beats Iowa State. It's kind of confusing, but it makes sense. I don't know.
But in that situation, who would you go with if Oklahoma won out and then Georgia ended up beating Alabama?
See, I think if Georgia beats Alabama, you got Georgia, Alabama, Clemson, and Notre Dame probably.
So would you punish Michigan for winning out and Alabama just taking a loss in the SEC championship?
It depends how dirty the loss is, obviously. But I think if it's 1 point, the committee loves Alabama way too much.
All right, so a one-possession game.
One-possession game, I think Alabama still stays in because they've been dominant through the regular season. I don't know. It's just something to look at.
That has to be the hardest thing for a committee because you got to think if that does happen and it's a one-possession game, you've got 2 top 5 teams, honestly, who could probably take out Notre Dame and Michigan with ease. But then you got to punish a team who also won out the rest of their season for just the fact that you want to see a team who you know is going to be dominant and has been dominant all year.
Yeah, and my only thing that, don't get me wrong, even if Alabama loses, I still think that they're a better team than Georgia. But I don't know that the committee would want to see let's say they both made it right back to the championship game. I don't know that they'd want to see a situation where Alabama beats Georgia, who had just beat them in the SEC championship game.
Kind of like how it was Alabama LSU a couple years ago.
Yeah, like that was just a weird situation. I don't know. Football's weird. Who does Georgia play this week?
No idea.
They play. Oh, they play UMass. It would be. I don't think it's going to happen. But you look next week, they play Georgia Tech. Sometimes that option attack gets people messed up. It would be interesting to see Georgia Tech beat Georgia. And then Georgia just beat the brakes off of Alabama. That would be interesting. But it won't happen. Alright. Anyone else got anything else to say?
No, I'm good.
Alright, Savannah had stepped away for a second, but as always, follow us on PodBoi's podcast, or PodBois_podcast.
Yeah, on Twitter.
Roast us, roast the two Fate Boys.
Ask us questions.
Ask us questions, come up with topics for new debates, come up with your own jokes about USC. Actually, and next week, give us your best USC versus Notre Dame, and we'll read your tweet off on the pod.
Also, we got a Twitter. We need to come up with we need a gram.
Oh, we do need a gram.
If you want to send us in our DMs your USC and Notre Dame joke, we'll leave it anonymous too, so you can say whatever you want to.
You go down in the DM.
But if it's too bad, we will censor it just a tad.
Yes.
I won't. I'll say it. Who cares?
Alright. Is that it?
That's it.
Say it, Savannah.
Bye, boys.